Walking with Dinosaurs. Welcome guys again to my channel, Ranking with Dinosaurs, where I'm going to discuss and rank the episodes from the documentary that inspired my love for paleontology and probably a lot of people as well, Walking with Dinosaurs. So what we're going to do today is we're going to rank the 6 episodes that aired in 1999 for Walking with Dinosaurs. And I know this is going to be very controversial. Everyone has their favorite episode. Everyone has their least favorite episode. But I'm going to do one of my best to explain why I like each one of them. And just so you know, I don't think there's a bad episode of Walking with Dinosaurs. This is just between each other how they would rank, which means I actually don't think any of these suck. They're all really good in their own way, but we have to rank them. So today, I'm going to start this new series where I'm going to rank a lot of paleo documentaries as well. And some of the designs as well are going to be ranked, but not today. But for each episode, I don't know for each episode, but I'm going to do for the designs, that's going to be another video. This is going to be for only the episodes. So we're going to be starting with New Blood. So we're going to be starting with the first episode. This amazing series, New Blood. So we're in the Triassic for this episode. A very underrepresented time period. Well, right now, there are some more representation in more recent paleo documentaries, but back in the day, Triassic was like, what is that? So we see the Triassic. We see a bunch of new to like the general public critters, not only dinosaurs, because as you all know, Triassic was home to not only dinosaurs, but insane-looking animals. As you can see, I did a video with Triassic weirdos, and there is a ton of them. But this episode focalizes on the Coelophysis, which is the very gracile, running and built dinosaur. Insane puppetry for these animals in the show. It's actually crazy how good they look. The puppets look. We see them in mobs, but we don't focus on them, which is actually interesting because I think they're just in the background. I mean, we do get some scenes with them, like focusing on them, but they're not the main focus of the episode, which just shows gives us this impending sense of these guys are here in the background, but are like slowly coming into frame, and that they're basically going to be the only things left by the end. Especially with the end of the episode, where we see Postosuchus, another insane and iconic animal from the show. Postosuchus, such a great puppet as well. The actual scenes with it are crazy. Yeah, I know pacing Postosuchus is probably not an actual thing that can happen, but you know they did it. They tried, you know. They were trying to show these creatures as real animals. So we see also Placerius, if I remember, and Pitanosaurus, which was the first time as well that we all actually heard of a thing called Pitanosaurus, a small pterosaur, which is another one of those small things that are like in the background, and where it just shows you that these guys are probably in the future going to be on the forefront of the battle for survival, even though there's no battle. But yeah, I really like this episode. The actual environments and all, it's actually really well made. The arid environments and the almost desolate look to it, everything, it's really good. We also have a little show, the little mammal-like animals. I can't remember the name, Trinaxodon, something like that. But they're also in the episode. They get a little bit of a feature. A very sad moment with them. Yes, I'm not. If you know, you know. Just they did not deserve that. But yeah, New Blood. I love that episode. Is it gonna be an A tier? I think it is going to be an A tier. It's going to be an A tier. Time of the Titans. So this is the second episode from Walking with Dinosaurs, where we travel all the way to the Jurassic. And this is easily one of the most iconic episodes in Walking with Dinosaurs, or Paleo documentary history, where we follow a single protagonist. Yeah, this is one of those episodes that follows one animal, specifically Diplodocus. I always confuse it with the Spanish name, Diplodocus, but Diplodocus, where we follow it from all the way from its little baby stage all the way until almost adulthood. And we see its journey, and you can instantly tell this is one of the most standout episodes of the show. Some people say it's their favorite episode. It might be my favorite episode as well, but it's so good. Like the battle for survival of this poor Diplodocus. I was about to say lonely, but no. This little friend of ours goes through a ton. At the beginning, we see an ornitholestes hunting baby sauropodlets. We actually see it with the wrong reconstruction with the crest. And other animals we see in the episode are Allosaurus, which is instantly an iconic dinosaur from the show. Like the viciousness and the way this animal moves. I know people prefer the Walking with Dinosaurs special, the big Ballard Big Al, that design. But this one is not. I mean, it's improved from this one because this one it kind of looks a little wonky, a little weird, but it's instantly iconic by the way it acts. It actually murks a bunch of animals, or tries to. It gives you what I think Allosaurus is, and I think this portrays this very well. Same with other documentaries that we'll get in the respective moment, but Allosaurus is a menace. It's a deranged animal, actually insane, a psychopath. But yeah, Allosaurus we see, and actually we're watching the episode. I'm like, I forgot Brachiosaurus was in this episode as well. But no, yeah. The standouts. Oh, you also see Stegosaurus. That whole scene with the plates, all the blood rushing to the plates and getting them into like a almost red color, insane. And showing you that herbivores in general not to be messed with. But yeah, oh yeah, that poor baby Diplodocus. So sorry. But yeah, also standard of this episode, the music. It's insane. Town of the Titans has an insane score. You know the song. When you hear it, it's an instant classic. But no, yeah, the environment's everything. Very luscious, very green. There shouldn't be any grass yet. Which I don't think there's grass. Actually, I think there's a little bit of grass shown, but we'll let it pass for it. Time of the Titans is definitely an S tier. I mean, it's a classic for a reason. Cruel Sea. So, Cruel Sea is the third episode in the show, and it focuses on the Jurassic, but not on dinosaurs. Even though there are some dinosaurs that appear in this episode, especially the beginning scene, which is, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh damn, that Leopleurodon just jumping out of the water, and getting that Spondylus. Oh my god, I can't believe I said that on the first try. getting the Eustro, like flipping the scene when you think this guy is gonna actually hunt like a fish or something, and the hunter gets hunted. Amazing, setting the stage already that dinosaurs are not the only creatures on the planet. But yeah, Leopleurodon is another one of those iconic designs, and yes, it is the size of a plane in the show, but we'll give it to them. And there was back in the day we didn't know what this insane remains were, and they made a not very educated guess, but we'll let it slide by giving us that insane design for the Leopleurodon. I love the full circle of life moment that it gets at the end, where it washes ashore on the beach and it's beached there, and it gets eaten by a bunch of, again, Spondylus. But yeah, the ambient in this episode is really awesome. Usually, I'm not a big fan of water episodes. of ocean episodes. I hate the ocean. Not because of I hate the ocean, but usually don't resonate with me that much. However, this episode was really good. We see Ophthalmosaurus too. Ophthalmosaurus. And Ichthyosaur from the Jurassic as well. We see them at night. The puppetry in this episode is also really insane. It's actually crazy. That's one of the best puppets I've seen in the actual show. It's the underwater shots. I'm amazed that they could do this for a TV show on 1999. It's actually crazy. But yeah, we also see the Euoptros spondylus. They just show them like hopping from island to island because I believe this is, I can't remember where this is. I think this is Europe. And you can see the little islands. But yeah. Cruel Sea. I'm a little torn on this one. As I told you, I don't love water or sea related episodes. But this one is so good. Like out of all the water episodes and all paleo documentaries, this might be my favorite. Which is a lot, so I'm going to give it an A tier. It's so good. Giant of the Skies. So this is the 4th episode in the series, and we land at one of the most sad stories in any paleo documentary ever put to screen, and it's the sad story of the Ornithocheirus, which today is probably a Tropia agnatus, but we'll let it slide. This is a sad story of an old Ornithocheirus in its last journey to try to mate, and have a restful end. But yeah, this is one of those instant tearjerkers of the show, which is insane for a show that's basically just a bunch of CGI animals on screen with some insane puppetry as well. The puppet for the Ornithocheirus as well. This show is impeccable in that regard. So we start the journey in Brazil, where our friend, the Ornito, is going to embark on a journey. And we see some tapajaras, a very Brazilian pterosaur, every time you think of a pterosaur from Brazil. These guys show up, basically. So he embarks on his journey. It's really long. It goes across the sea. It gets to Europe, and so we see an very infamous Utahraptor, the thief from Utah in Europe. Yes, me as a child was like, yo, Utahraptor's not supposed to be in Utah. And yeah, you child, you'd be right, because there shouldn't be a Utahraptor in Europe. So basically, there were some suspected dromaeosaur fossils in Europe. As you might have guessed, it's now a Utahraptor. So we embarked on this journey. We see a bunch of different animals from the Ornithocheirus perspective. We see Iguanodon, we see Polycanthus, we see the infamous Utahraptor, and yeah, like the insane scope of the journey of this animals is so awe-inspiring. I love it. It's unlike any of the other episodes. We follow a single one as well, a single animal protagonist, and it's honestly beautiful. Like when he gets to the final nest and he has to, trying his best to impress the ladies, fight off other Ornithocheirus, and at the end we see that shot where he's just dying in his last moments, seeing the dawn, seeing the beautiful sky. It's honestly so sad. Ornithocheirus does not deserve that end. And yes, at the end they end up eating him. As the circle of life will tell you. It's cruel, but it's beautiful. Giant of the Skies. It's S tier. Spirits of the Iced Forest. So we come to the 5th episode of the show, and right from the beginning, a totally different episode. How I like to describe this episode is claustrophobic and almost horror-like. I don't know why, but this little clan of Lealinosaura, Raise your hand if the first time you heard of Leolinosaura from Walking with Dinosaurs as well. This little clan is fighting for its life to survive every single day, each day in the forest. Is crazy. So this is actually also the smallest cast of characters we have. We have the clan of Leolinosaura. We have the polar Allosaurus. We're in the Cretaceous, and that's a polar Allosaurus. That was probably a Australopithecus, but yeah, we know him here as polar Allosaurus. But yeah, and we have the Mutaburosaurus and the Koasuchus, which feels like an ancient relic from another time in the actual episode, which contributes to the, I think, kind of like a little bit horror aspect to this episode. I don't know if you get the same feeling as me, but I do get some of that, some self-contained. This forest is like suffocating you, but the little clan is like, doing their best to be alive, and it's honestly a very different approach to it. I kind of like it because of that. However, being as focused as it is, I don't feel that much for the little Leolinosaura guys. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They're really cute. However, I think the strongest part for this the strongest aspect of the episode is what I told you, the self-contained aspect. And I kind of like the Mutaburosaurus, like, on the background, like there's a whole nother world going outside, but we are right here, and we only seeing the outside from a little keyhole, which are the Leolinosaur eyes. But compared to the other episodes, is not as strong. Still good, as I said at the beginning of the video. Not as strong as the other ones. So Spirits of the S4 is going to be a good beat here. That is not bad compared to the other episodes. Death of a Dynasty. So we come at the end, the 6th episode of the show, Death of a Dynasty. So this episode, also instant classic one is the last episode, end of the Cretaceous. We're coming at the end of the reign of the dinosaurs. We see very familiar faces. T-Rex makes an appearance. A weird-looking T-Rex, I know. They're walking on tiptoes with a weird-looking head, very wrinkly face and neck. It's a very janky animal. Even the producers didn't know what the heck they were doing with the T-Rex. They actually said it, that they were like, I don't know what we're doing here, so just put him in. Basically, they subbed him in from. So we see Ankylosaurus as well. Also kind of weird, but we'll let it slide. Ankylosaurus, and not Triceratops, but Torosaurus actually, which is one of the first times we see Torosaurus as well, instead of Triceratops, which is such a breath of fresh air. And we see Dromaeosaurus 2. What else? Oh, and the little mammal. I cannot remember the name of the little mammal that ate the eggs of the poor mama T-Rex. So this episode, I think, the environment is completely wrong, because this is like a desolate post-apocalyptic, almost desolate land type of, where at the end it's the end of times, which is what they were going for. Like, I don't think they were like not trying to get this, we're almost to the end of the journey kind of vibe that we're going. However, any of the Cretaceous in North America did not look like that. It was very luscious, very swampy, very green. Nothing is reflected on the episode. So, what I give it to the show is the actual atmosphere of, impending doom, that the days are numbered for these guys. And I kind of like that for it. It's the death of a dynasty, the end of the time for these guys. And I think they actually managed to achieve it in such an impactful way. The ending scene with the asteroid hitting in New Mexico is insane. It's awesome. It's sad. It is melancholic, and it's iconic for a reason too. Very famous too. The babies dying at the end made me shed a tear, but that is life. And marks the end of dinosaurs as a whole. The one of the biggest mass extinctions ever portrayed, and it's beautifully done. So, Death of a Dynasty, I'm not going to give it an S tier because of all the inconsistencies, but it's going to be a strong A tier. So, I told you, there's no bad episode on this show. So, this is going to be it for the Walking with Dinosaurs tier list for the episodes. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite episode? Let me leave it in the comments. Like, subscribe, do all of that. Appreciate it. Helps me do more of these videos. And yeah, I'm going to be doing more of these paleo documentaries. Some about the episodes, some about the actual designs in the show. I want to dig down and dig deep into the design philosophy of each show and comparing them and ranking them, as we do on the channel, Ranking with Dinosaurs, which, as you may have noticed, it is named after Walking with Dinosaurs. If you didn't, you're a scrub. I'm kidding. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate your support. I'm going to see you in the next one.